For today's tutorial, I have a 20 by 30 canvas, a jar of water, spray bottle. Colours, I'm going to be using quinacridone magenta, Russian blue, titanium white, dioxazine purple, ultramarine blue, Mars black. I also have my makeup blending brush, a dagger brush, a small flat brush, a long flat brush, and a cat tongue brush. There's always a cloth to be able to dry my brush on. So for today I don't have a paint palette, I'm going to be going directly onto the canvas with the paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my canvas. I want it to be quite nice and wet, so it has a lot of moisture to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by blobbing some colour. So I'm going to start with the Prussian blue. No right or wrong, you can kind of put this anywhere. We're just creating almost like a galaxy scene. I think this is what I feel inspired today by galaxy. So I want to replicate that and do it in my style, which is more loose and just having fun with painting this kind of galaxy landscape. I'm going to do some quinacridone magenta. We'll do that next to the Prussian blue. Okay. And I also have some of that dioxazine purple. I'm going to add some of that as well. This is quite fun to just dab it around everywhere instead of using a paint palette. It's quite fun to just play around with colours like this. Okay, then I'm just going to make sure that I quickly spray my canvas again. Then a few small of the Mars black, one, maybe two, and a third one here. That's it. So I'm going to be taking my long flat brush, dipping that into some water, and I'm going to slowly start blending out the lightest colours first onto the canvas. So just going for that quinacridone magenta and blending that out first. If I sense my canvas is a bit dry, I'm going to go in and spray, because we really don't want the colours to become streaky. We want everything to be almost very fluid, which is why I love working with soft body paints, because you have more of that thinner consistency than you would with a heavy body acrylic paint. And I'm going to go in with the dioxazine purple. So I'm just going to follow kind of the pattern that the painting has. So just making sure to spray, so we're getting that nice fluidity. This is just something that I have in my head, and I wanted to try it out and see if it actually would turn out the way I expect it to. I love experimenting on my channel and trying new things and new ideas. I think the whole point of making painting fun is to be able to explore. I'm going to wash off that purple off my brush, and I'm going to move on to the Prussian blue now. So I'm just going to, if there's too much of that paint, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to remove the excess paint. I don't want the whole canvas to become overwhelmed with one colour, so just going to remove. So I'm just rubbing down and then removing. I think that does all of the blue. Hopefully it's going to come together. I'm just going in back with the blue and removing that excess amount of colour, just so when we blend it, it doesn't all Okay, I'm going to blend out this little pink over here. We can always come back later, and we've got some black here, some black there, and some black here. Okay, this is all nice and wet. I'm still going to give it a light little spray. Going in with a small wide flat brush, I'm going to start to pick up the excess of any of the extra water that's on the canvas, and I'm going to try to slowly start blending the colors together. We're going to mostly do that with the blending brush, but this is just to pick up any excess fluid. So I'm just kind of brushing over the colors and now making sure that there isn't too much of the color on the canvas. We can go in with the blending brush now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blending brush and start by blending out the pink. And I almost don't want the blend to be perfect, because to me galaxies are a little bit wobbly. Every time I feel like I have paint, I'm going to remove that with the brush. So I'm just going in and slowly softening those colors out. This is just the first step. Of getting those colors get into that blue. We're just slowly blending out that galaxy. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take some white next. So we need to be ready to go straight into our next step, and we're going to take the white and add some white into it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start just stroking our brush upwards. And then brushing off any excess. Like so. And then taking that and just kind of gently brushing and softening out those colors. And then you can kind of blend the ends together. And then I think I want to go back in with some of the pink. And maybe add some pink here. And then go back and do the same. I'm just kind of brushing it brush upwards as well. I am definitely freestyling every single part of this. So we're just creating this galaxy as we go. And then kind of maybe brush it upwards. And maybe another one here. And just take it up like this. And then blend out the bottom part of it. And then maybe do some of that with the pink. I'm kind of just placing colour and playing around with it and seeing where we get to. We have kind of a good base. I'm going to grab some of that white, just only a tiny bit, and then mix in some water just to make the consistency a little bit thinner. And then grabbing another brush, I'm going to then just tap it over. To really get that starry effect. Going in with my cat tongue brush to mix them together, and I'm going to do small little petals, because every painting looks better with petals in my opinion. Now I don't want to overdo it with the painting, and I want to let the background stand out more than anything, so I'm going to be very careful with how many I put, making sure to take breaks in between. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there with the purple. Now I'm going to do the exact same with the quinacridone magenta. Grab some of that white and a little bit of the pink, and I'm going to do the same thing. Only a few of the pink. Again, I don't want to overdo it. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And then the last one I'm going to do is some Prussian blue with some white. using my dagger brush, I'm going to dip it into some white, and where I can see some larger stars, I'm going to add some shooting stars. Just by dragging. Okay, so there's our shooting stars. Okay, then I'm going to add some kind of north stars. So again, wherever I can see, I'm just going to drag, and I'm using the very fine tip of my brush to just create that larger star. Here are the final results. I really enjoyed today's painting and I hope you did too. Make sure to subscribe and like and turn your notifications on so you get notified every time I post a new video.